Patrick Lancaster, and right now we're in front of the Parliament building in Tbilisi, Georgia, where there has been, tonight will be the 7th day of protest and unrest. And people are already starting to gather. And these protests have come after last week the ruling party, Georgian Dream, the Prime Minister, who's been in office for 12 years, announced that they were suspending talks for accession into the EU until 2028. Now, the accession into the EU, or the goal of it, is in the Georgian constitution. This triggered the opposition party to assist in the organization of the protesting this move by the PM. Now, we can hear some explosions. There's been several. Now, we're told every day for the last 7 days there's been less and less protesters, but we're here on the ground to show you exactly what is happening, what the real situation is. Now, we've been told that every night there's been clashes between the protesters and the police, which included water guns being fired at protesters by the police. There's been images of homemade artillery being used by the protesters. And I say artillery, but basically big fireworks also being used as a makeshift rocket launcher. But we're going to see what the real situation is, what the unrest is tonight, what information we can find, and just what is really happening here, because it's been reported that dozens of police have been injured and dozens of protesters have been injured, with hundreds of protesters being arrested. Now, the pro-opposition president, who's scheduled to leave office in a matter of weeks, has said that she's not going to leave office because she claims that the elections last month were dishonest and not done properly, so she's not going to leave office. Now, the vote for her to leave is going to be on the 14th. Now, this is also what the Prime Minister says about why he suspended the talks for accession into the EU, that the EU claimed that last month's elections were not legitimate and the EU is blackmailing the country. Now, this is what he has to say. Since then, he's come out and said that he was misunderstood about delaying the accession, but still there are the protests going on. We're finding everything as it comes. We're going to show you as much as we can here on the ground. And also, there's a lot coming out from Russia. Russia's Dmitry Medvedev has claimed that this protest is a revolution, or attempted revolution, that is doomed to end badly. Maria Zakharova, the spokesman for the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Russia, has said that Russia is willing to go as far as the Georgia capital is wanting to go, as far as regaining relationships between Russia and Georgia. So the future of Georgia is in play right now. What's going to happen? Is Georgia going to be moving closer to the EU, or, as what many say, are they going to be turning their back on the EU? As we see, there's many people here that appear to have favor for EU. Again, the Prime Minister has said that these protests are being orchestrated and organized with the assistance of foreign instructors. And we have to see how close this looks to Maidan in Kiev in 2014, where Kiev moved away from EU, turned their back, you could say, on EU and towards Russia, and now we're in the 10th year of war there. So we pray that war doesn't come to Georgia, but regardless of what happens, we're here on the ground to show you as much unbiased information on the ground. We're going to see what this night turns to be and how it will affect the future of Georgia. Remember, we're totally independent, crowdfunded journalists. Support our work on the screen or in the description. And also, right now, go to Substack and subscribe to my blog there. That's where you get a lot of information, deep dives in my videos, extra videos that aren't on YouTube, and early access to reports. So make sure right now you stop and go down to the link of Substack and subscribe to my blog there. So let's go get some information. Let's see what's really happening here between the protesters and the police. Okay, so, all right, now we can see the police presence. It's actually on both sides of the Parliament building here. We see the protesters, fairly young people, and some old here having heated communications with the police. Not too heated, but we don't understand exactly what they say. And it seems the police are preparing for the night's events in case it happens as the last 6 nights did. And again, there are police presence on this side of the Parliament building and the other side. It's like several hundred between both sides. Excuse me, you speak English? What are you doing here?
Protecting protecting this country.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we see more and more people showing up. You see people over here actually talking to the police that are up on the porch, you could say, of the Parliament. And as well, they're up on the top over here, and the protesters seem to be making some sort of dialogue, or attempted dialogue. Unfortunately, we don't understand what they have to say, but hopefully things stay peaceful. But if the last 6 nights have been any indication, as we said, then they won't. But we'll show you what we can here, and let's keep bringing you the information. Can you say what you're doing here?
We're protesting because we want Europe.
You want what?
We want Europe.
Europe,
Yes.
European Union.
Our government said that we will stop. How can I say that? Stop communication in Europe like 2028. And it's terrible. Like our country is occupied by Russia and Abkhazia, and yeah, it's really sad. And we are here to save our country for our government.
And what's good about the European Union?
We need that. We don't want Russia. Russia is Russian guys or all people are killers. We don't want them. That's it.
All Russians are killers.
I don't mean all, but I don't want that.
But what's good? What attracts you to Europe?
What attracts me?
Yeah. What's good about Europe?
We want that. Because that's look how many people are there. Show them, please. Show them. Look how many people are there. That's all we want. And there are still too many coming, right?
Okay.
You can see them coming here, and that's what people want, and what government should do, right? What people want and what's right. This government is not right way, and we need to change that.
And what about how in the last couple of days the Prime Minister said he was misunderstood about saying that the EU talks were to be not talked about until 2028. He said he was misunderstood and it wasn't true that he said that. What can you say about that?
Listen, Izina Ivanishvili said something like that.
Okay.
We have to apologize for 2028. And that's for us, it's like difficult, it's like hurting us. It's not right. Our heroes dies right here, right there. And they want us to apologize for that.
What sorry, I don't understand. Who died?
Our heroes who fight for our country.
Okay. Oh, in the wars before.
Yeah.
Okay.
They suffer our heroes.
Okay.
They were like so much pain for this country. They love this country. We have to love this country. It's beautiful. But our government is so dirty. And like you already seen what's happening here, and we will change that. We'll change that.
And sorry, today is my first day, so I'm just kind of getting to know the situation. What about the elections a month ago? Were they honest elections or not?
I can't say that, because many people scared of wars, scared of wars, and our government said we will come to peace, right? But
they're scared of war.
yes, but that is not true.
So the government was saying if you don't vote for us, there'll be war, kind of like
Something
that.
Something like that. Because if you choose us, there will be safe in your country. There will be peace.
So if I understand correctly, you're saying like the election was fair to the point that the people voted, but they voted for the wrong reasons?
No, I'm saying that people scared of wars, and people like that are like 61, 62, some old people. I respect that, of course, but it's not what we want. You can see all here most of them are teenagers like me, but many people are still old. Old. But they still with us because they want right country to live.
Okay, understand. Thank you very much.
No problem.
So we just saw the little kid throwing firecrackers at the police.
Let's go old school.
right, more and more people are starting to show up. We've been here about 2 hours. We're showing you exactly what's happening, what the people have to say. Unfortunately, we can't get all the translations to you right away, but we're getting this information out as fast as possible. Right now, it's just before, just after 8 in the evening. So we're going to wrap this report up. We've shown you how the protests are starting here tonight for the 7th night in a row. What some of the people had to say, at least one, and our first impressions is the vast majority of the protesters here are very younger people, as we saw teenagers and people in their 20s, some older ones, but you see the video yourself, you see what we see, so we're going to continue on, bring you all of the important information. Again, go subscribe to my Substack. We're putting out more live information there, much more. And remember, we're totally independent crowdfunded journalists. For work with the link on the screen or in the description. And we're going to go get this video out and get back to see what else happens tonight. So we've got a couple of videos coming out tonight. Hit like, share, subscribe.